time. Joe's here. Episode 10 is officially underway. Joe, we're happy to have you join us for episode 10. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, happy to be here. I was surprised that you asked me, but we're doing it, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah, so we know Joe because he coaches at North Central now.
Yeah.
Long time. Well, I don't know, long time, I guess. I'll let you describe that. But
Okay.
Former, we'll just go there.
Yeah.
Former NIU assistant coach under Ray, who is here now too. Ray Good, shout out. We've given him a lot of shout outs on this podcast. It's kind of crazy. Maybe he'll be our next guest. Foreshadowing. Former NIU coach. You coach Maddi now. Maddi, any?
Not anymore because I graduated, but
Now she can say whatever she wants about me because I'm not in charge of anything of her anymore.
no, Joe is good for our program, and all of us really enjoy having him around. So I'm excited for. I mean, I feel like I know a little bit about you, but not a lot. So I feel like this will be fun just to get to know you.
Yeah.
More.
Cool.
All right. Go ahead, introduce yourself, what you do now for all those that didn't read your Instagram post bio that I asked you to send me.
Yeah. I am currently the director and recruiting coordinator for Pipeline Volleyball Club. It is in Schaumburg, in Hanover Park-ish area. I actually played at Pipeline before it was Pipeline, like the year before.
What was it?
It was Rolling Thunder, and then it kind of split. The boys and the girls split. So, but yeah, so kind of like a full circle moment, which is really weird. But it's cool. It's just like really, it's really weird. I coach at the same place I remember practicing and getting in trouble in high school, so like it's cool. So I do that now. Am I going through my whole? Am I doing down the list right now? Then before that, I was at the University of North Dakota for around a year and a half up there. And then before that, I was at NIU for a long time. I think it was like 8 years.
Okay, so I wasn't totally crazy.
No, yeah. In coaching, it feels like dog years. Like that's a long time. Not a lot of people make it to 5. Like less people make it to 10. So like it felt like a long time. It happened really fast, but it felt like a long time. So yeah, we did that, and now I'm kind of moonlight at North Central. Kind of hang out sometimes, like show up, hang out. Sometimes for the games, sometimes not for the games, So it's cool.
He calls himself the random guy on the sideline. So
yeah, I go stand by Ben most of the time behind the bench I don't know where to stand during announcements.
Oh yeah.
So I go stand back.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, I go stand out of the way. That's usually just me trying to be out of the way. That's most of my life.
Well, I will say I Googled you, Joe, before today, just because I wanted to see. I don't know. I just wanted to see what the internet had to say.
What did you Google?
I Googled Joe Davidson volleyball.
How did that work?
It worked.
Did it?
It did.
Oh, okay. Because that's not my birth name, so sometimes that doesn't work.
How do you pronounce your birth name?
Now I'm Johannes Davidson, but my birth name was Johannes Ninjiri Nzorogi. My dad is Kenyan, so yeah. That's
cool.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, Joe Davidson works way easier for people, so I usually stick with that one. But yeah,
that's okay. Yeah, well, it worked, and
man.
I mean it just because like most of like your bio,
they all say
coach
Joe.
bios, they all say Joe.
Sweet.
But it came up with one of your Instagram posts, and you signed out after you left NIU, ghost of NIU.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
It felt very reminiscent of what you were just saying.
Yeah. I think people at NIU, probably the kids I coach there, would say the same thing. I try to just stay out of the way, and just like I don't want people to know who I am. I just kind of hang out, like it's not about me. So just kind of get to like knock the volleyball around a little bit and like hang out.
Okay, I gotta ask. So first, I think it was the first. I don't know if it's the first day you were here, but the first day I met you when you came here. Mm-hmm. You remember when X-Line introduced us to each other? It was very, very brief, so it's totally okay if you say no. Because the only reason I remember is because you're wearing your typical like black sweatshirt, black sweatpants tucked into your socks, like the same thing you always do.
I wore jeans today, by the way, for this. This is really official. I know. I'm gonna start sweating. I'm
very fancy.
I'm very, very fancy right now.
But I met you as like, okay, Joe, he looks familiar to me because of what you were wearing. And it's like, I've seen him play grass before. That has to be it.
Oh, yeah.
And it was, and then me and Maddi, the next day, we were like looking up your Instagram. I was like, this has to be the guy.
Yeah,
this has to be who I'm thinking of. And I swear it wasn't creepy.
No,
it wasn't in a creepy way, but I was like, I think I know him. I did.
Yeah,
I mean, I did. It was one of those things where, like, I know this person because I see them all the time. I feel like that happens a lot in the volleyball world.
Yeah, volleyball's not big. Like, everybody knows everybody. And, like, especially as you get older, like, if you've played grass, you play against everybody. You play beach. The beach scene's small. Like, the indoor scene's small. Like, I'm getting old now. So, like, I play a little bit, but, like, I still wear the same thing. And, like, that seems to be a defining characteristic if people remember me as a double XL hoodie and my sweatpants stuck into my socks. So at least I'm try to be consistent.
Is that just something you do for fun? Like, you just enjoy wearing that?
What, the whole thing?
Yeah.
So I usually have a basketball jersey on too.
Okay.
I don't like short sleeves are weird to me. I don't have a good reason. I don't have a good reason why. Hoodies, I don't know. Like, I just like to stay warm. So I'll do that. I wear sweatpants all the time. I don't like playing in shorts. I mean, I'm on the ground a lot, probably unnecessarily, but I'm on the ground a lot. So, like, it helps me a little bit. I actually stole tucking my socks in. He's gonna love that I give him a shout out here, but my buddy Omar did it first. He tucked his sweatpants in his socks, and I used to give him a hard time about it. And now I do it pretty much exclusively, so I can't really say anything about it. So yeah, I don't know. It's just comfortable, and I sweat a lot too. So, like, it's easy just to have a hoodie on, and that's what it is. So
interesting.
Yeah, like, I'm sweating now. If you can't tell, but I'm sweating now. So
I see. If I was sweating a lot, I feel like I would not want a hoodie on. That's my thinking.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's why I was asking. I don't know.
Maybe it hides the sweat, so I don't sweat through my shirts, and then nobody can tell that I'm sweating. I'm just always have a hoodie on.
Okay. Doesn't it make you hotter though and sweat more?
Yeah, once you get past the point, though, you're just there, and it's just kind of, you just live with it and deal with it later.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. All right, interesting.
Yeah.
Had to ask about that.
Yeah.
I was like, coming in today, I was like, I have to ask him about this. I was going to ask you if you owned any clothes that had color to them that weren't, like, school clothes. And you're wearing red.
Hey,
right
I'm
now,
wearing
so
red.
okay.
This is pretty good. I got this hoodie. I love this hoodie. But pretty much no. I wear that black Adidas sweatshirt, the one with the patch down there. No, I wear that one frequently. They're mostly, like, team issued black and gray, I would say. If I showed up in color, it'd be weird. I feel like people would be uncomfortable with my presence. So just try to stay out of the way. If I'm in black, I just get to hide.
So you have multiple of the same black clothes? Pretty much?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have.
So your closet is just like black 2XL hoodies all the way
around. One of my goals has been to, like, get real clothes recently. So I've had to, like, I've got a couple things that have some color in them. You guys would be very proud of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I have 2 of those black Adidas hoodies. I have 2 of those sweatpants that I have. No, it's just like black and gray. Yeah, I don't know. It's easy.
No, that's
it goes
fair.
with everything.
I was just curious.
Yeah. You're not the only person that's asking that question, so that's. If anyone gets anything from me talking today, it's gonna be Joe wears the same thing over and over again.
All right, we'll start talking about some volleyball now.
Yeah.
So, talked about a lot of coaching that you've done. You mentioned playing. Let's rewind to first time you touched the volleyball, or when you started.
Yeah.
And then walk us through your high school, club, college, whatever you have done.
Okay.
Up until now.
Yeah. So my first, like, the first real memory I have of playing volleyball, of, like, at least why I got into it, was my mom used to toss me a ball on a trampoline, and it had the net, and I would just go hit it as hard as I can. So, like, she would just chase the ball for an hour while I would, like, toss me, like, get 5 reps, because I would just hit it all over God's green earth, and, like, I would do that. So, like, that was really fun. I'm a big extreme sports person, so, like, I snowboard, and I like to snowboard, and golf is an extreme sport. But,
it's like the opposite.
Yeah, it's the opposite. But I grew up, like, skateboarding and wakeboarding and snowboarding a lot. I still do. So I played soccer, but, like, that's way too much running. I literally quit because I didn't want to run anymore. So like volleyball, 30 feet is as far as you have to run. Like, great.
I feel like that's a common thing.
Yeah, like
reason for people quitting soccer.
And I played left forward, so I didn't even have to go that far. I got to stop at the half, and then it was everybody else's responsibility. But like, it just was so much running. Like, we're running 4 miles. Like, it's dumb. I didn't want to do that. So, like, I remember her tossing me a ball on the trampoline, and then she signed me up. The other pivotal moment in the beginning of my volleyball career was she signed me up for camp, and it was me, and there was one other dude, and I was young. Like, I don't know, I was either late middle school or like early high school. And she signed me up for this camp. I walk in, I was the only guy besides that one other kid. And I refused to go in. And then she bribed me with Halo 2 specifically. I remember the video game because I was like, I really wanted it. It was an M game. I was way too young to play it. But she bribed me with the game if I went. So I went to this camp. And then like it was cool watching there was like 2 guys that were like running it. I'm sure they were like 17. Like, now they looked so old when I was that age, you know, like you don't know how old anybody is. Like, they were probably like 19, maybe 17. And they were like hitting on a girl's net because that's what 17-year-old guys love to do, is like bounce off on a girl's net. And I was like, that's really cool. And so I like remember playing, and it was fun. And then I started playing like at Sky High, and I was really bad. The guy who coached me first, his name is Reese. He's still involved. I see him. He actually coaches. He's usually wearing something ridiculous. Like, he wore St. Louis. He wore like a rainbow sparkle onesie for the entire tournament. Like, that's just what he does. So he helped me a ton. And then I like I was a Sky for a little bit, and then I went to sports performance. So I was at Spry for 2 years. I was at sports performance for 2 years. And I got way better. It was a long drive. I drove from Crystal Lake and Barrington down to Spry 3 or 4 days a week.
You're from that area?
Yeah. I went to 2 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, 2 high schools, all within the area. Okay. Yeah, so like all local.
Yeah.
But so I drove down with the sports performance. We were the Bee Bombers. It was called Runbird back then. It was sick. It was so much fun. We got way better, but like, we were absolute goons. It's so much different than the girls. But it's still a pretty tight ship. I mean, we ran a ton, but it made me way better. And then I did that for 2 years, and then I finished up my last year at Rolling Thunder, which would be now Pipeline, with just like the homies, and we were just like, and like I was the B bomber, and like it was sick. It was 2 teams. We had a great time. My coach was a goon, but it was hilarious, and like he made it really fun. And I mean, I'm sure we got better, but I know it was a good group of guys that I'm still friends with when I see them out and stuff. And some of them still play, some of them still coach in the area. Omar, who I referenced earlier, is a good friend of mine. He actually works with us at Pipeline. So yeah, like we would just get in trouble and just do dumb things all the time. You know, like this is probably not a good story to tell, but one of my teammates drove home from the Modern Warfare 2 Call of Duty release with the night vision goggles on and turned his lights off. Like, dumb, but like that's who it was. Like, it was just fun. We had a good time. And then I went to Graceland, which is in Lamoni, Iowa. If you've heard of that town, good for you.
Maddi? Yeah, I have.
I forgot. Yeah, you know where Lamoni is. So
yes.
It's like an hour south of Des Moines.
Mm-hmm.
Walmart is not even Target. Walmart's 30 minutes. Like, it's not. I didn't love it. My graduating class had like 888 people, 900 people, and Lamoni had, like, the school, Graceland, had that many people. So I played there my first year. But again, like, we just got in trouble all the time. It was fun. Like, just random dudes, a bunch of Puerto Rican and Hawaiian guys that were like a blast. But then I transferred to Ohio State and played club there. Then I finished up and did that. It was fun. Again, like, it was a good time. We were pretty good for club, you know, like it was just guys, like whatever. And then it was a good balance. And then I finished up at NIU, played club there. Same thing. I was old. I was in school for a while. But yeah, it was just like fun and did that. And I coached club teams along the way. At OSU, I was a practice player for those guys for the year with some of my club teammates, and then I coached club like around the area here, and then at NIU, I just like my buddy Jason. My buddy Jason was a manager for them the year before me. He was graduating, and I was coming in, and I was older. So I met Ray at the grass tournament. They have an annual grass tournament. Mm-hmm. I remember I was wearing a basketball jersey and like some shorts. I don't know why he hired me. I probably had like a hat on. I was like sweaty and like whatever, but it wasn't the most professional of meetings that I ever had. And then he's like, hey, if you want to come hang out, like we need people to come hit balls. And so I did that. Where am I supposed to stop? I forgot. I'm rambling now. So where am I supposed to stop?
Fine.
Okay.
Just
keep going.
Yeah,
okay.
Go for it. Post college.
So then in college, I did pretty much everything at NIU over my time there. I was never the head coach. So I did everything but be a head coach. But I was practice player. I did tech for them. I was a manager for them. I was assistant coach for them through various roles and years, and some really good and some really, we were bad a couple times. We were bad at volleyball a couple times, but still, like, you know, you learn a lot through it and you figure it out, and you decide if you really want to do it when you're bad. Like, it's easy when you're good. Like, when you're good, you're like, hey, this is chill. But then when it's not, you figure it out. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, then I was at NIU for a while. And then, in 22 through COVID, that was wild. Like all that. And then I coached club all over the place. I was at Fusion. I was at VC United. I helped kind of moonlight all these other places too. Like, I just kind of moonlight around and help out. And then I went to North Dakota, which was cool. It was a cool experience to do something different. I'd always worked in the same space, so it was cool to like learn and learn a different environment, you know, and like and pick things up from a completely different situation. And then the opportunity to come do this through Steph and BJ, who were the owners. BJ I've known since like I played against him. He went to Palatine. He's a year older than me, so I got played him in high school, you know, and like that was cool. And so now I guess I'm doing this, you know, like it's
he is on Bump.Set.Speak.
Now he's on Bump.Set.Speak. I finally made this here. I DM them every day to see if I can be on this.
This was the end goal.
Yeah, this is it. So yeah, I guess I guess I didn't tell them about high school. We were bad in high school. We may be the worst Barrington team. We may be the best Barrington team in history. They're pretty good generally. Yeah. We were pretty bad. My senior year. Junior year, they were pretty good. Senior year, we were pretty bad.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Do you know Lakes Community High School? You ever heard of that?
No.
Okay. You know, like Grays Lake North, Grays Lake Central?
Yes.
Same conference as them. That's where I went.
Oh, really?
Was Lakes.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah. Nobody ever.
Yeah, sorry, dog.
Ever.
Yeah.
It's like only if you were within 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's like saying Graceland. Like, unless you're from Iowa or you went there, then like you don't know what it is.
Well, I've lived with it at this point.
Yeah, people
say, where do you go to high school? Lakes? Yes. Lakes. Like
Lakes. How many people in that high school?
1,000.
Dang. How'd they stay away from Grace, like from like joining the bigger schools? I don't know why I'm asking you, not the superintendent, but
no, I don't know. No idea.
That's a nice little fun fact.
Because like we would play, like we played Barrington a couple times. We played like Lake Forest and like schools that are farther that way.
It's like Vernon Hills. You play those guys up there.
Yeah.
Libertyville.
Yeah. They were our like out of conference games, but I mean it was still all within 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Okay. Interesting. All right. We're learning.
So I think that's all my I think that's everything I did with volleyball, I think.
Okay.
I'm sure I did some other stuff. I don't remember. But it was fun.
Okay, before I ask this next question, how did you end up at North Central? Like, because I feel like we went through preseason and it was like, oh, Joe's here.
That's how it felt for me too. So I was Ray had gotten the job.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, like, I worked for Ray forever. So, like, not forever. Well, I worked for him for a long time. And we're pretty close. So
Yeah.
I had known he'd gotten the job. And then when it just like, I was in North Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing a thing. And then when I took this job, I took this job, it was pretty late, especially in the college cycle, but it was late. It was beginning of August.
Mm-hmm.
Ish, like a little bit later, like September, October, around there. And so I was still trying to figure it out and didn't really know exactly where it was going to land. But I was like, I'm moving back home.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ray was like, well, if you're not doing anything and you want to come hang out, like, come hang out. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, and I'm like, I like coaching, and like, I like coaching college. It's fun. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, I can come hang out and like can hit balls or whatever. Like, I don't know anything. I'm just kind of like, I'll just show up when I can, like I didn't know what my schedule was going to be like. I worked at a golf course too. So I was kind of like going back and forth, but
Mm-hmm.
he was like, hey, if you want to come like hit some balls and hang out, like, I'll get you some gear, and like take care. And like, it's a good time. And like, I wanted to help him out. And like, he does a good job. So I thought I wanted to like support in any way I could, he's given me a lot. So I want to be able to like give back and do that as for it's easy. So like, and you guys are cool. So like, that made it easy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how I ended up. It literally was like, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, nothing. I guess I'll come hang out at practice and stuff when I can. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. It was fun. But do you have different moments or experiences from volleyball that have had like, you would say, like defining moments or like biggest impact on your life? So usually people would do like one positive or one negative experience or both.
I think, I mean, I kind of touched on it earlier. Like, there was 2 years we were bad at volleyball, and I just kind of figure out if you really want to do it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I apologize to those guys all the time. Like, at least if I haven't said it to them, they can maybe hear this and I'm like, I'm sorry, I was so bad. Like, I wasn't a good coach then, and like, I hope I get to say that again in another 10 years. Like, to the same people I'm coaching now, and to you guys, like, man, I sucked. Like, I should have been better. And so that was like but they were like, we tried to get better, and like, we went through some stuff, but I have good relationships with people from those years,
mm-hmm.
because it was really, really hard. So like, I mean, I won't say that was a positive, but something positive came out of it. There's still people that like, I mean, I can shout, like, there's so many people I could shout out. Like, Meg has been playing professionally for years now. I don't remember when she graduated. Feels like a very long time ago, but like, I don't know if I would have said sophomore Meg was going to go play professional volleyball
mm-hmm.
in Germany for 5 years. And she's in Sweden, like, doing her thing, and like, she's going to be mad at me because I haven't texted her back in a long time. But like, that has been a really positive thing that's come out of something that was like, could have been really, really negative. And it was really hard, man. That sucked. Like,
mm-hmm.
there were seniors in there. Like, there's a lot of people, and it could have been really, really hard, or it was really, really hard, but positive relationships have come out of it. So that was really, really cool. I don't know, positive stuff. Like, there's so many positive stuff that happens like all the time.
Yeah. That's
really like fun, like, it's just like, there's like everyday stuff. There's stuff with like the club teams that I see every day,
mm-hmm.
like, if I had a year where we coached with we had basically 7 people all year. We went to AUs with 7 people for 4 days. Like, it was fun. Like, that, it was cool. Like, we just figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
And that group got second. Like, they were really cool. And so like, there's a whole bunch of like positives even from like this year, like, beating North Park was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't there the first time. So like, doing that the second time was like cool, like, I mean, we got our butts kicked at Wesleyan, but like, that was still like a positive. That was still like a positive thing. I think competing in that first match was awesome, because
mm-hmm.
like, there was a shift in you guys. I don't remember exactly when, but of like, no, we can like really do this,
mm-hmm.
as opposed to like, hey, I guess we're here. Like, it was cool to see all of you guys be like, no. This is what we're going to try to do.
Yeah. And
we may lose, but this is what this is how we're going to try to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you believed in us as a staff, and like, that was really positive for me. Like, that's the reasons I remember like coaching, and like, I go through all my years at UND. There's like, I remember we were early for practice one day, 6 a.m. practice. So it was like 5:45 in the morning, and I saw on TikTok this guy jump 17 volleyballs. So I was like, I can do that. And I knocked the wind out of myself doing it. But like I did it, but it was fun. But that's with like other coaches and stuff. Like we were just like screwing around in the gym at 5:45.
Do you have a video of this?
It's on my Instagram.
Okay.
Okay. That video exists if you want to see it. It's like clipped in. But like I knocked the wind out of myself doing that. But like that was fun at UND, and I could reserve NIU forever. Like running grass tournaments and in 16 when they won, like the girls won Triple Crown and did like it was cool to see the joy in all them, and like that was before I was really meant anything. I was just kind of there, and like we were pretty good in 22, like like there were some cool bus trips and all that stuff, like beating BG at home. Like I could go through like so many different like little things, but it's more the culmination of that of like, man, today sucks, but then like something happens positively coaching, and I was like, that's really cool. And like those are the things that I remember. I have like cards and stuff that I always keep like stacked. Like I have that. Meg gave me the jersey, this first jersey I ever got from her playing pro. Like I have to hang that. But like that stuff is what I remember more.
You have to text her back first.
I know. I keep bringing it up. She's gonna be really pissed at me. So, but like those are the things those are the positive moments that I remember way more than like one thing.
Yeah.
It's like a culmination of like it's already been however many years. So that's cool. Yeah. So yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I think one of the things that a lot of people have said when mentioning like a negative experience is the positive that comes out is relationships.
Yeah.
I think that's huge, especially because like you mentioned earlier, volleyball is small. And so you really have to rely on those, because if you don't make relationships, or if you make bad relationships, it's like, well, you're ruining your community, your experience with the community,
100%.
Which is overall a very positive, a very welcoming, fun community.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I like some of my stronger relationships with people I've coached, or with people that we've like, I say this all the time, but like that I've like gotten into it with. Like we've had come to Jesus meetings, and it's like, yo, what? Like I'm not gonna swear on this, but like because I never swear ever. But it's nice. Like I'm sure cool. Maddi would agree. I never ever swear ever. But it's like come to Jesus and be like, what are we doing? And like it's been really hard, and it's been really gnarly, and they've probably not liked me for extended periods of times. But like we come out of the other end, like actually this turned out to be really cool. And not all good relationships come that way, but like some of my stronger ones I know are like people, and they know who they are. Of like it was gnarly for a little while, but like it's cool, and we like earned it. So
oh, I like that.
Yeah,
that's cool. All right, so finding a positive in a negative itself is a good skill to have.
Yeah.
What are some other important skills that you've gained through volleyball that you use or are helpful to everyday life, which I guess is still volleyball for you?
Yeah, I guess all I do is volleyball. I think there's some like, I would say, like poster ones, like patience, like, what I mean? Like, I don't want to be really cliche and like coach talky here. It's like, you have to be really, like, you just learn how to be really patient. I think I was thinking about this one while we were getting organized. That's what I was like trying to write down my answers to, because I didn't forget. But I think two of the things that come to mind a lot are like problem solving. Like volleyball is like a really gray game. And so like the only thing that's scripted is like where you serve. And then like anything could happen. Like you could, hey, you're supposed to run this, and then like, I pass off the net. It's like, well, we're not doing that anymore. Like it does, like that's what it is. As I talk to setters, right? Like the ultimate people are like, yeah, this is supposed to be my plan, and that's not my plan anymore.
Every time. I very rarely actually call plays out of serve receive that aren't just like our normal routes.
Yeah.
Every time I do, miss serve.
Yeah. I call it timeouts because I'm like, okay, this is going to be great. And then like the pass is in the opposite direction. And like, club kids are like, you told me to do that. I'm like, I know I told you to do that, but not when the pass is there. Like, I know I told you to back set, but the ball's in zone 4. Like, we're not there yet. You have to learn to problem solve. And I think you learn to problem solve in the moment. Not only in the game itself, like again, like without getting really coach talky, like you just everything is different. It's like, I don't know, Like, I think that's something that people get annoyed with me when they first are coached by me is like, I say I don't know a lot.
Like, Maddi, can you confirm?
I think so. I mean, you worked more with the pins, so like.
That's true. You ask your sister.
Yeah, and we'd have to ask Abby on that one.
But like, I'm like, I'm sure I could have. Like, should I hit it there? I'm like, sure, if you want. Like, you could also do this. Like, you know, like you got to figure out what's going on, and there's rarely like a right answer. I mean, there's like wrong answers, like don't serve it under the net. You know, like that's like the wrong answer. Like we probably shouldn't free ball the barrel, but like generally there's not right or wrong answers. So you're just kind of working through it. And so I think that's, as a player, that's a thing. And then also as a coach, you know, like you have to work through it. I mean, we went to nationals with 7 people and you just kind of figure it out. Like it was fun. Like we knew what we were doing and we went in and tried to figure it out and it was awesome. And then also like I've had meetings in hotel lobbies with coaching staffs of like, I mean, our setter went down one time and separated her shoulder in a match. So one, she did it in the match. So we had our outside. This was a cluster. So she separated her shoulder, so she didn't serve her rotation, and we had to have our outside, who did not have good hands, set for like a click, and then our middle was like running 1 balls, but like somehow drawing blocks, and like she wasn't getting set. Like we won the match somehow, and then like the next morning we had a meeting in the hotel lobby of like, what are we gonna do because she can't play. You know, and like we're just trying to figure it out. Like, you don't have time to feel sorry for yourself. It's like, I don't know, let's go. Like, let's try to figure out what's going on. You know, like buses don't show up, food doesn't show up. Like parents are upset with you, you know, like someone gets injured, someone gets sick and is throwing up on the bus on the way to a match. You're like, okay, well, it is what it is, you know, like, so that's a lesson I learned through that. I guess like problem solving and just trying to, I don't know, just figure it out. I think another one that's important to me now is like learning how to learn and like being okay, being uncomfortable in that, like sitting, like attacking failure and like being okay, like, yo, this sucks, but like, this is what I need to do to get better. And then also like assuming like that, like just, I think that kind of sums that up, but like assuming positive intent from people, but more so like assuming they don't know as opposed to them not doing it out of because they are trying to be a bad person. Maybe I found that more with club. That's like a 13-year-old like doesn't know. Like they don't know what they're supposed to look at. Like we had sitter training last night. So the 13-year-old, we have like a 12-year-old setting like a 13 team. Like she doesn't know what she's supposed to look at. Like she doesn't know the footwork pattern. Like she doesn't know any of that stuff. So like they don't know they're supposed to aim when they hit every time, you know, like there's college people, unfortunately, don't know they're supposed to aim when they hit all the time. You know what I mean? Like you can't assume that people are doing that. Like I assume that they don't know. And so like, that's my job to help. And if they do know, that's a different conversation and you kind of work through it. But I guess that would be kind of my, like trying to learn how to learn and like teach people how to learn and like help them do that. Problem solving. And then like, assume they don't know. Like they just don't know. No, if people say the word communicate, it's like my new ick. And get my soapbox. Yeah, ick was not the word. I don't know why I said that. That's the first time I've ever used that, by the way. I just want you to know. This is like my new soapbox. Is like when people say the word communicate, it drives me crazy. It's like, what does that mean? That's what I say all the time. My club team knows. Like, what does that mean? Like, communicate. Cool. Awesome. Talk. Okay. Like, what do you know what I mean? Like, what does that mean? No, they don't know. Like, they don't know what to say. They don't know what to look for. So we'll just work through that. So I'm done rambling there. That's the end of my sentence.
Got you.
I
was going to let you keep going.
No, that's the end of it. I'm off my soapbox now.
No, that's an interesting, the third one you brought up of just assuming people don't know. That's something that is like, I haven't thought about that before.
Yeah. Like
it's just interesting.
I don't know. I can't assume that like, again, for you guys, like maybe we have to figure out where you're at. Like I have to meet you where you're at. Yeah. And I have to you have to trust me too. Like, again, I just showed up on like August 20th or whatever. Like, hey, who's this dude? And like, you have to trust that I know what I'm talking about, but like, I have to, and then I'm here to help you. I mean, I know what I'm talking about, you know, like, but like, I have to be able to meet you and kind of see where you are before I start talking about certain things.
Yeah.
You know, and like I have to be okay with that. And like we're gonna figure it out together. That's how you get better. Because me beating you over the head with what I know doesn't help anything. Like, awesome, cool. Like that doesn't help you get any better.
Yeah.
So
no, it's just like a coach's perspective that I have not really thought about or heard before. In that way, at least. Yeah. It's just interesting to me. Interesting. Okay. I'm just thinking about it now. Cause it's Because like I'm interested in coaching.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be like my main thing, but like I'm interested in coaching.
Yeah.
I'm a big like learner too.
Okay.
Like I want to grow and learn things.
So
just in general.
And if you're set like still a volleyball example, if you're setting an offense, like do you assume that like your middle knows that in this rotation this person's not a good blocker and like they do a bad job? Like middle, their M2 does a bad job on the gap go. Versus like their M1's actually like just full commits every time because they just don't want to get beat on it. And like they're really jumpy. Yeah. And like you know that as setters, or like maybe you know that as setters, right? But like but like do your middle doesn't know that. So like being mad that they don't run gap in that situation without physically telling them like that we didn't game plan it, you know, like I don't know, I call Amber tips a lot, you know, like you know that like and for a year, but like you're running offense and like you know, certain people are going to swing at that. Do they even know that they have those tendencies? Yeah. You know, like your two outsides this year have different tendencies. Yes. So like, you know that, do they know that? Do they know in those situations, like what's going on or what the defense is going to do? They don't generally. Yeah. And if they do, sick, great, like awesome, but it's a different conversation, but you got to like, it's assuming they don't know that as opposed to getting mad. Yeah. How they react to that. Yeah. As I talk to two setters.
No, that totally makes sense. It's just interesting. I just haven't thought about it that way.
Yeah.
No. I might. Yeah. Okay. I like that. I'm like at a loss for words because that made sense in my mind.
Cool. I'm good. So, at least it made sense to someone. I ramble. I ramble with a lot of people, so at least it made sense to someone. I'm good.
I'm gonna keep thinking about that.
Yeah.
All right, Matt. You take over.
All right. Speaking of thinking, what is something that you've changed your mind about lately? This doesn't have to be a volleyball. Okay. So literally anything.
That was one of mine. That was like my main one probably. As I was like thinking about this question, like I just assume that people. I gotta stop assuming that people know what's going on. Like, and I gotta assume that I know what's going on. Like, I don't know what's going on. I just kind of wake up and figure it out. And like, this is what we're gonna do. You know, like I don't see what happens. Attack what's in front of us. You know, so I guess that would be my main. That's like the philosophical one.
All right.
You know, if I come up with a non-philosophical one, I will let you know. As like my brain turns.
Good to know.
Now I'm trying to think. Now I'm trying to think of like volleyball and non-volleyball. If there's anything random in my life that I've changed.
Be entertaining if it was.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything crazy.
That's fine. It's a good answer though, as we just spent the last 5 minutes talking about it.
Yeah, so I was going.
All right. Well, now we can move on to the dreaded Q&A session.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
So hopefully this will ease your mind, and then maybe you'll come back to a different non-volleyball related.
Okay, I got you.
All right. We have 6 questions for you.
Okay. Today. Wow. Full slate. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. The first one is from Abby Boobin.
Okay.
What is your favorite part about coaching?
I feel like if I say the word relationships, that's a cop out. That's a cop out answer. I don't know. I like seeing people do things that they didn't think they could do, like, or they haven't thought about before. I think Abby is an example. Like, we worked through some stuff this year, you know, like of different things for her. Like she was like scared to do, and then by the end of the year, she was like, "No, I got that." Like, seeing people attack it in different situations too, which is cool. I never coached her in high school. No, I missed her by a year. She had a friend of mine, but like I know he thinks similarly of like forcing her to do stuff, but like that was cool to see her make a switch of like, no, like I'm gonna go attack and go do this, as opposed to like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. I don't know. Again, you set her the ball, so maybe you saw that too, but like that was a cool switch for her to be like, see her, like she was hesitant about stuff and like, no, now I can actually go do this and see people like walk in like shoulders back, chest high. I'm like, no, like let's go do this. As opposed to like, oh no, like you're making me do this again. So I guess if that makes sense. Yeah. Like that's a fun part. Like the relationship part's cool. Like we already talked about that, but I would say that's probably one of the cooler things. Yeah. So yeah.
All right. Next question comes from my brother Sean.
Okay.
Said, how do you maintain team spirit, which is very general, take it as you will, when in a seemingly isolated location like North Dakota?
Team spirit, like in
I didn't ask for clarification. Okay. However you want to answer this question, go for it.
Well, I'm an only child, so entertaining myself is really, really easy for me. Like I can entertain myself doing anything, and like I just try to be present. Like North Dakota is really not that bad. I will stick up for the city of Grand Forks, North Dakota. It really isn't that bad. It's cold, but like it's sunny a lot. The summer is really nice. It's like 80 degrees. Like it doesn't ever get 90. So it's like, that's nice. It's like 65 to 80 for 3 straight months. It's like, it's cool.
Might have to plan a summer vacation.
It's windy. I don't know about all that, but it's windy and it gets really cold in the winter, but like, it's not that bad. I think Lamona is harder, to be honest. Maybe it's because I was 18, but yeah, I don't know. You like find things to entertain yourselves. Like you can either be really miserable and like look at all the things that are bad, or you can find ways that like are fun and like find things to do with the people that are around you and entertain yourself. You know, like played a lot of video games in Lamona. Like it was cool. You know what I mean? Like it's what it was. You know, we would like we would literally compete. My roommate and I would compete to go to that. If we got like a nuke in Modern Warfare 2 for anybody that plays video games, this is my video game side. We would like if we got to do that, then the other person had to buy them a Slurpee at the gas station. Like so, that was it. Like that's what we did. Like we would climb the silos. Like we would go find things to do.
Go get in trouble.
You go and get in trouble. You know, like
not to quote anybody.
Yeah, right. Whoever said that. But like you can either find things to be miserable about, or you can like find ways to make a positive. And so like it's kind of on you.
Yeah.
With that, that's what I would say. Yeah.
I think that suits the answer, or suits the question.
Yeah. So you say, you need more time for volleyball. So you're focused on doing that. Yeah.
Okay. Next one is from Sarah.
Okay.
Who was your favorite freshman to work with this past season at North Central?
This is cheating because she was the only freshman. So that doesn't count.
She asked Bailey the same question.
I know. That's why I heard this. That's why I knew this, because I listened to the episode. I listened to Bailey's episode in prep, so I prepped myself to do. So I knew what I was expecting. So Sarah, that's cheating. That doesn't count.
I like that answer.
Yeah, I'm abstaining from that answer. And she's a grandma anyway. She may be a freshman, but like, she's a grandma, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, she seems way older than she
is. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. That's funny. Next one's from Danny Moser. Said, do you have a pregame ritual? Is there anything that you, all caps, need to do before you play?
Before I play?
That she said play, but I put in parentheses or coach if you can answer that better.
When I play, not really. I don't know. I guess you maybe have to like ask the people I play with. I guess I'm routined. I used to dive. If I play, when I used to play indoor more, I would like my double leg dive both sidelines. Like
for fun?
10 times. Yeah, like as a warm up. Dive ladders were like, that's what we did in high school. I was very late one day to practice, so I had to do 42 before, like, I think it was the next day or 2 days. Yeah, that was my own doing. Yeah, that was my fault. You get way better at diving. Wow. So like, it doesn't bother me to like go on the ground. So like, I would just like dive, kind of like get used to going down on the ground and getting up. And
makes one of us.
Yeah, you're taller than me though. So. But no, not really. I usually have music on. I don't hit balls usually because like I got a limited number of swings and jumps. So like that's a waste of them for me to do like hitting lines. I've never won a bounce off before. Yeah, I don't think so. Coaching, I have candy a lot. I guess people would probably say that. I guess people would be like, I have
Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch watermelon. Sour Patch watermelon I usually have.
Yeah.
If I coach club, I have Starburst jelly beans a lot of the time. I would say that is more like I probably have candy. I think that's my most ritualistic thing. Is I always have candy.
Do you often have people throw it for you to try to catch it from far away in your mouth?
No, that was a one-time
Or was that
thing.
a one-time thing?
That was a one-time thing that I'm glad Ray didn't see that happen. That was the thing. I was like, we're just gonna do this until someone yells at me. Yeah, it's like no one's gonna yell at me, so I'm just gonna do it. We made it all the way. Who was that?
Aaliyah.
It was Aaliyah.
Aaliyah.
Yeah.
I don't. Was she catching or throwing it?
Aaliyah was throwing it.
No. Oh no, she was throwing it. We made it
all
all the way across the court. Yeah, that may have been one of the most athletic things ever done. That was impressive.
Yeah.
That was really good. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff though that other people are like probably like, what is this?
I don't even remember who we were playing.
Me
they
neither.
were just like standing on the court. They're all warming up. We're sitting on the bench and watching Joe catch Starburst.
I do remember that. Yeah. Whoops. Like this. That's like we were like, he's in charge. I'm like, I don't know. Someone told me so, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was. I don't remember who we were playing either.
No, me neither.
That was good though.
I'm glad.
Shout out to Aaliyah for good tosses.
Yeah.
They're
consistent.
Yeah, she did a great job.
She crushed it.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Right.
So yeah, candy.
All right,
candy for sure. I forgot about that.
Okay, next one is from Katie Godo. Favorite practice song and why?
Practice song?
Yeah, or just any song in general if you want to go that route.
Do both.
My favorite song and then my favorite practice song.
Mm-hmm. Or like hype song.
I would say one of the best, I guess, a song that I will always listen to is Lil Wayne Swag Surf from No Ceilings, the mixtape. That is probably like there's no if you don't like mixtape rap, you won't enjoy it. There's no chorus. He goes all the way straight through. So I guess that one, if that comes on, I'm always excited for that. Like if that comes on like pregame, I guess that's a good one. I like Get Up by D12. Again, songs that people don't listen to. Like these aren't songs you're gonna enjoy if you don't if you don't like these people. I don't listen to a lot of D12, but that song I like a lot. Recently, let's see. Recently I'm pulling up my Spotify. TV Off has been a jam recently. Like that's just way too easy. I like Peekaboo too, both by Kendrick Lamar. I would say I've been listening to a ton of like soca and Afro beats and Nigerian hip hop and a lot of like mixes, which I got from Ray for sure. I absolutely I just like listen to mixes all the time. So like Ashake is a Nigerian dude and his music's good. It's like it's like kind of vibey, but like, and also it's like half in English. If you spend any time in a car with me, like it's like British hip hop, and then like half the music's not in English. Like I listen to like some French hip hop too. Like I don't have good answers for why. I kind of go all over the place. So I guess that's kind of my Asha Cake is as on repeat. Dave is a British hip hop artist. He's good. Those people are kind of like on repeat for me. Kendrick I listen to. And then I listen to a lot of mixes. Nice. I listen to a Boiler Room that's like psycho, but I like it. So like it's crazy.
Nice.
I don't know. That's the answer, I guess, to my question.
I think I'm gonna look up the songs, and that's what I'm gonna do the rest of my day.
You're gonna be like, what?
I'm just gonna go listen
like,
to all
this
those
is
songs.
not what Joe is actually listening to. Like I was listening to, what was the last thing I listened to? I actually listened to it when I walked up here. Oh, it's a like this is weird to have like on the podcast. You can't really hear it. This isn't performable, but like this is an hour-long mix of like Nigerian music by this guy named SARS. So we just like vibing. Like this is the whole thing. Like this is what I'm listening to most of the time. So that's not going to perform well on the audio, but
that's fine. That's okay.
Yeah, I can link it and get some. I don't get any money from that, but that's what I was listening to.
I feel like I could vibe with that.
It's good. It's chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm like a. We have one more question. I'll ask that in a second.
Okay.
I feel like I'll answer first. I'm like a pregame. I listen to like Spanish music.
Like Bad Bunny.
Anything really?
Okay.
Just because of the beat.
Like Daddy Yankee.
Strictly because of the beat.
Dun,
Literally.
That.
Yeah. Every single Spanish song. Yeah. They all have the same.
They do.
Yeah.
Yep, the whole time.
Literally.
That's what it is the whole time.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I get like similar vibes.
Yeah,
it's not the same. I get that, but it's like similar.
No, I think there's something about not understanding the words. So
yeah.
Like then it's just like on. Music. Yeah, then it's just like on, and like I try to sing along like I know Spanish. Like I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
That's what I do.
Yeah, I do it to this stuff too. Like I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, but like it's fun for me to sing along to, mumble along to. But yeah, I don't know, the vibe is whatever. What did you listen to?
Me?
Yeah.
So one thing I noticed about getting older is that I can't get too hyped up like on the bus ride, because otherwise I get tired.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
So this past year, I don't know, I would listen to a podcast. Like if we had a long bus ride, the first like hour would be some sort of podcast.
Was it ours?
No.
Had to ask.
I don't like listening to myself talk.
That's fair.
But in general, I would say I would try to keep it more like it's not all Noah Khan, but like sort of like that, like kind of like smoother, like not a lot of super fast like hip hop or anything like that. Yeah. But when I was in high school, it used to be like strictly rap the whole bus ride, the entire way there, and like that's something I definitely noticed I changed, because I just can't get that hyped up for.
No, you like if your game's at 5 and you're going crazy at 3, like you're early to what's going on. Yeah, you got a lot of work. You got a lot of time left.
Yeah.
Limited amount of energy.
Yep.
For
yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
I understand that. Like well, this will be outdated by the time we release it, but we're going to Carthage in 2 days or tomorrow. Going to Carthage tomorrow, and I'll probably listen to some like slow, relaxing country for the first hour and a half.
Yeah.
And then the last half an hour will be Spanish music.
Yeah, it's like completely different.
That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I listen to the weekend. I listen to the weekend all the time, like all his old stuff. Like that's like the first half. If I know it's a long bus ride, like I fall asleep to the weekend, but like I'll listen to the first half and then like go for it, or it's like that, whatever.
Yes,
that's funny.
All right, we got one more.
Okay,
this one is from. I hope you know this person because we do not. Chris Boylan.
Yeah, I do.
We'll take that as a yes. Said, who started the 847 chant?
Oh my god, I knew. I do not take credit for that. I hate that chant. I don't claim it. I think he thinks I started it, but I do not think I started it.
Do we get a demo?
No, you don't get a demo. It's like, like it's just like the people do like their like they just like clap afterward after you. I'm refusing to do it, so I'm going to describe it with words, and I'm going to just refuse to do it. But like they'll like do, you get a point, and then people would like do stuff and clap after, like people would, I don't know why in high school it was so dumb, but we did like 8, 4, 7, and then you'd like clap. Again, I'm refusing to do it. I'm holding strong. But he thinks I did. He thinks I started it, but I do not claim that because I hate it.
So this was a high school thing?
This was a high school thing because the area code for Barrington is 847.
Okay, see, this is okay. I was talking to Maddi about this yesterday when we got this question. Because 847 is also the area code from where I am.
Yeah.
And I was like,
847 is weird.
Yeah. And I was like, there's no way this has to do with like the area code 847.
It does.
And it does. Yeah. That's crazy.
It's like 815 is the same thing. Like 815 is all over the place.
Yeah.
And so like I have an 815 number from Crystal Lake, but like it's like Rockford and like Iowa have some, like there's craziness. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm really sad that we didn't get a demo, but it's
no,
okay.
You are not going to get a demo. I refuse. I absolutely refuse to give a demo for that.
Maybe once the camera turns off.
No, there'll be no demoing that. I would like that to die a very fast death. And of course, Boylan's going to bring it back.
All right. Well, maybe eventually we'll hear it. I don't know.
To the grave. I'm going to my grave with that.
All right, maybe not. All right, last question.
Yep.
Post Q&A that we like to ask everybody. Who's somebody in your life that you met through volleyball that has had the biggest impact on your life?
I mean, this is softball. This one's pretty easy. What do you think?
Ray.
He's gonna be Ray.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna guess too.
Like I can go on forever and ever, like, and there's so many people that he has impacted, and like
you got 5 minutes.
Oh, I won't go that long. Okay.
No, you can. I'm saying you can ramble for 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay, sorry.
No, say whatever you want. I'm just
kidding. I know this is like a ringing of the bell, because like so many people would say the same thing, and I've been really lucky to witness it through recruiting trips and just being involved in volleyball, and like we've been close for a long time, so I've been able to get a front row seat at the impact that he has had on other people, and that is really inspiring, and like you do it for the right reasons, like you do it that way, and like it's cool. Like he gave me a chance when he didn't have to give me a chance. Like he did not have to hire me in any of it, as a practice player, to do more, to be an assistant. He's like I've screwed up a bunch, and he has given me chances because of all of like me just like screwing up. He's like, all right, well, like we'll just work through it, and try to do that. So he is absolutely the reason I'm doing it. Like I don't do it. I'm not sitting here today, if like that doesn't happen. Yeah. Like he didn't have to ask me back to help at North Central. Like it's cool. It's been really cool to see the impact of so many people that he has, from our area to nationally, to the people he's coached, to like campers. Yeah. And like to like every single person that has value, and every single person can do something positive. Like no camper is too inexperienced to get coached, by the head coach. Like you can make someone better or something. Like they can serve the ball over the net. If they can throw it over the net, they can serve it over the net. So like, let's try to get them better at that. They may not become, Lauren Carlini, but like they can serve the ball over the net and find real joy in that. And I think that there's always ways to improve, and there's always ways to like do it, and it can be fun. Like it doesn't have to be like, it's a grind. It's already hard enough. Like coaching's hard enough, and life is going to throw you curveballs, and you're going to have hard things, but like it can be fun, and like you can do it with the people that are around you. So that's easy. That one took me to zero thought. I didn't have to prep that question.
Nice.
So yeah. Like it's cool. So absolutely right.
All right, Ray, you got another shout out. This one from Joe.
He's got to have the high score for shout outs.
I think so.
I think he's at 4 right now.
At least.
That's pretty good. To episode, I think
it's on 40%. We've talked about him in almost every episode.
Probably
this
more
season.
than, yeah, probably.
Because Kayleen brought him up too.
Bailey probably did.
Bailey did for sure.
Yeah. At least 3 episodes.
That's the real guest you're waiting to hear. That's the real one we want to hear. That's me just plugging it so it can happen. That's all. That's all it is. I'm gonna go back to his office right now and tell him he's next. So.
Yep.
So yeah, that would be my answer. That'd be my answer to that. So yeah.
All right.
What about you guys? Can I ask that question?
You can.
Has anyone asked you that question?
No. Nobody's thrown that back at us yet.
And with that,
I don't know. I'd have to give that more thought.
All right. Through volleyball, I'm gonna say X-Line. Kyle X-Line.
Cool. Can I ask why?
Yeah, I just had to think about the answer first. I could come up with a name. I just had like really good relationship with him, and he was more than just my volleyball coach. Helped me in like all aspects of life, like growing as a person, from when I came on my visit, like going into my senior year of high school, and I was still like the shyest kid ever.
Yeah.
Like in high school, a podcast would be out of the question. It would not be something I'm doing. Like I wouldn't give it any thought. Like that's not happening. And now here we are.
Yeah.
And it's like, I came on my visit. I kind of knew what I wanted to do. I was like, I kind of want to do I was thinking sports management at the time with like media communications as a backup. I ended up flipping them, got my undergrad in journalism and media communications, sports management minor. But we walked up the hill from Merner. We were on our way to admissions, and we stopped in here in the radio station where we are right now.
Oh, sweet.
Talked to Zach, the GM, just introduced me to him. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. Yeah. And then I spent 4 years doing radio. Yeah. And now my communication is so much better. In all, like, it is though, in all aspects. And I think Like even just that one moment of him introducing me to somebody, and then many more along the way up until he left. Like I still text him now, even though he's at Loyola and he's not here anymore. Maddi's turn.
No.
I talked for a while. I rambled so that you could think.
He did give you some time.
I don't know. I might have to get back to you on that.
Okay, next episode.
You
gotta start with Maddi's impactful person.
Or you could answer now.
I don't have.
You could answer now. I want you to have a good answer. I don't want you just to say an answer. I don't want you to say one. So
yeah.
All right, you gotta think about it. Next episode.
All right, okay. Next episode will start before. Hopefully Ray. Before we get to Ray, we're manifesting this.
Yeah.
Before Ray comes on, the first 2 or 3 minutes will be Maddi telling us her answer.
Perfect. Sounds good.
All right.
Cool.
Anything else you want to talk about or final thoughts before we wrap up?
No.
Episode 10.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Made it to 10 episodes.
That was fun. Good luck with the other ones.
Appreciate it.
I will be listening. I've listened to most of them.
Nice.
So I'm trying to get that count up.
Thank you for listening.
You're welcome. That sounded disrespectful. I didn't mean it like that.
Really not. It's really not.
So yeah, this is cool. I think it's cool to be able to, like, for you guys to do this, and hopefully it's fun. Mm-hmm. You know, and like you get to talk to people that are close to you, give people a platform, and like hear some different stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's awesome. Yeah,
I always say we like to have like one of the main things I like is that like those questions, like the questions I sent you as our like outline.
Yeah.
Because like we'd like to think of it as more of a discussion than an interview.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But we still have our outlined questions because we want all the answers to those questions from all these different people to be in one place.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I like that.
Yeah. So, it's different. There's so many different ways to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And there's not all like one way to do it. Like that's right. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not like not one person's right. No, people are going to disagree with that I gotta say, for sure. Like, you know, people like, they're all just different ways to do the things the right way. And as long as you're trying to do it the right way, then that's really what matters.
Maddi, final thoughts?
Nope.
No thoughts.
Coming, Joe.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, appreciate you taking the time, and that'll do it for episode 10.
Sick. All right, peace. I forgot there's a camera there, to be honest. I may be off the camera.
No, you're good. So
I'm still on? Okay.
I
keep leaning. I keep like going farther and farther back on that.
All right, that'll do it for episode 10. Thanks for tuning in.